Hello, I'm Bridget Otan, and this video is being recorded for the Social Work class 7004 Human Diversity and Oppression. This is the culture chest assignment, and this is my culture chest. The outside of the chest is decorated to reflect some of the roles that I was born into, like socioeconomic status, my race, my age, things like that. The inside is meant to reflect my core values. So looking at the outside of the box, you will see that it is very heavily adorned in the fleur-de-lis symbol. The fleur-de-lis symbol is representative of my Cajun culture, and I think that there are definitely some stereotypes attached to that. A lot of times whenever people hear Cajun, they think poorly educated or not refined, and we definitely do see that stereotype reflected in the media portrayal of Cajun people. Second thing that we have here is the, you can see it, the white lace along the side representing my race. I am white, which does mean that I am afforded certain privileges. I have been stopped by the cops for routine traffic stops or not using my turn signal or speeding, and it hasn't turned out to be a detrimental event for me. It hasn't gotten violent. I can shop without being profiled and followed around the store to see if I'm stealing. Certain things like that have been advantages of my race, which I was born into, obviously. Pink, because I am a female, which comes with its own unique set of challenges, and we'll get to that later. People see a female and they think that we're supposed to behave in a certain way. We're supposed to be ladylike, and that comes with a whole set of rules that we're supposed to follow. The next thing on my culture chest is bag of pennies. A bag of pennies represents the way that I grew up. I grew up poor. We never had money. You know, my mom was a housekeeper raising 3 kids on her own. I went to school with clothes that were 2 sizes too small for me, with holes in them, and I think people see poor and they think that either you're lazy or, you know, you're just not as good as them if they have money. So again, with that us versus them dynamic, you know, I was a them, especially in the community where I grew up, because a lot of people, you know, they had a little bit more of a financial advantage. We'll say that. And then finally, you'll see pictures of my kids. This is Matic and this is Brianna. My kids are 11 years apart, and one thing that you may notice about them is that they are of different races. So that's been a unique experience for me as a parent, because sometimes if I'm somewhere with only my daughter versus I'm somewhere with only my son, I see the way that people look at me or react to me is often very different. And also the fact that obviously they have different fathers. So I think that there's something that is attached to that. So there's like a negative connotation to some people, I suppose. And yeah, so these are just like some of the things that you can see just by looking at me, pretty much. External labels. Let's see what's on the inside. So here we have a little figurine. It's actually Doctor Who, and this is his sonic screwdriver. But we are going to pretend that this is a welding torch, because welding is one of the things that I wanted to learn how to do whenever I was a teenager, and I went to Votech. Excuse me. Okay. Whenever I tried to join that class, the principal of the school told me that I shouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. He wouldn't allow it. He didn't want me to burn my pretty skin. So I was never allowed to learn how to do that trade. And instead I took 2 years of nursing, which was also a great experience, but I would have liked to have done both. So, my welder guy. Next we have here is all the things that I'm so proud of. Honestly, I was a first generation college graduate. Nobody in my family before me had graduated from a university, and this represents the fact that I graduated with honors. It took a lot of hard work. It took me 6.5 years to get my 4-year degree as a single mom and waitress, working the whole time. And so I'm very proud of that achievement. Yeah. Secondly, Black Lives Matter is it's a cause that's very close to my heart. I am an ally. I am an advocate for this movement. I support Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ rights. I do consider myself to be an advocate and an ally for both of those movements. And I think that the fact that there is still such discrimination and oppression rampantly in society is one of the things that sparked my love for social work. So as unfortunate as it is that those things do exist, they have given me purpose. And then finally, the last thing in my culture chest, gifts that were made for me are given to me by my kids. And what this symbolizes to me is that I'm not just a mom. I think I'm a pretty good mom. I've gone high and low and far and wide to do everything that I can for these kids. And my son made me this. He wants to be a social worker. He is going to be an amazing social worker. And as you can see, he thinks that I'm nice and smart and fun, and that I love him. And that means more to me than pretty much anything in this world. My daughter given me this after she moved out. My daughter recently graduated from ULL University with a degree in new digital media, and I'm very proud of her because we are breaking generational cycles. She is the second person in our family to complete college. So, and this card is just a token of her appreciation, saying that, you know, she recognizes the sacrifices that I made along the way to help her to get where she is now. So that's a little bit about me. I think the things on the inside of the box are a lot more interesting and fun to talk about. And they really give you a better idea of who I am as a person. I really appreciate that you were here to share in this assignment with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your assignments too.